We don't know the extent of the contaminations.
In September 1982, widespread panic reached the medicine cabinets of millions of Americans.
A capsule of Tylenol was laced with cyanide.
Welcome to our channel. Today we're taking you on an immersive exploration of the top 10 unsolved cases of the past decade. These mind-boggling mysteries will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. From the perplexing disappearance of a renowned scientist to the cryptic messages left behind by an elusive serial killer, each case is filled with twists and turns that will keep you guessing until the very end. Picture yourself stepping into the shoes of a detective as we examine the evidence, analyze the clues, and attempt to unravel the truth behind these baffling enigmas. We'll delve into the chilling details, examine witness testimonies, and explore the theories that have emerged over the years. But be warned, my friend, this journey into the unknown is not for the faint of heart. As we dive deeper into each case, prepare to confront the eerie and unexplained. From unexplained phenomena to unsolved codes, these mysteries will challenge your perception of reality. So grab a cozy blanket, dim the lights, and get ready for a spine-tingling adventure. Together, we'll navigate the murky waters of these unsolved cases, hoping to shed light on the darkest corners of the human experience. Number 10. Room 1046. The murder of Artemis Ogletree sounds like an Agatha Christie novel. Instead, it is a perplexing true crime case from the 1930s. On the second day of January 1935, Ogletree checked into Kansas City's hotel president under a fake identity and began acting strangely, such as keeping the curtains drawn and living in darkness. He was also observed writing to and communicating with someone named Don. Ogletree was found in his room 2 days later, stabbed and restrained with rope. Ogletree stated that no one had attacked him before he fell into a coma and died. Ogletree's mother later received a phone call indicating that Ogletree was now living in Cairo with his new wife, but neither the caller nor the attacker were ever identified. Number 9. The Ketty Killings. It is awful when a quadruple killing goes unsolved. Sheila Sharp, an adolescent girl, discovered the bodies of her mother, brother, and brother's friend in their California home on the 12th of April, 1981. Her sister was also missing, and her remains were discovered 3 years later, making her the fourth victim. Surprisingly, her younger siblings and their friend, who was sleeping over at the time, were unharmed. Martin Smart, the friend's father, has long been the major suspect in the case, although nothing has been established. Unfortunately, the case fell cold when Tina's bones were discovered in 1984. In 2018, DNA discovered from a fragment of tape allegedly matched that of an unidentified suspect, but the case remained unresolved. Number 8. Lake Bodom. The most infamous cold case in Finnish history includes the deaths of 3 teenagers, Mela Björklund, Anja Mäki, and Seppo Boisman, who were all camping near Finland's Lake Bodom. Nils Gustafsson, the fourth victim, survived with several facial fractures. The victims were attacked through the tent wall, and at 6 in the morning the next day, a group of birdwatchers witnessed a blond man walking away from the scene. Unfortunately, the responding police force botched the investigation, so the 2 key suspects were never apprehended. Gustafsson was later detained on suspicion of the killings, but he was declared innocent of all charges and given over 45,000 euros for his agony. Number 7. Tylenol tampering.
We don't know the extent of the contaminations.
In September 1982, widespread panic reached the medicine cabinets of millions of Americans.
A capsule of Tylenol was laced with cyanide.
In the fall of 1982, Chicago was besieged by a horrifying wave of deaths. By October of that year, 7 people, including a teenager, had died as a result of taking Tylenol. Once the connection was established, tests were performed on the tablets, and traces of potassium cyanide were discovered, indicating that they had been tampered with. Investigators discovered that the suspect had stolen Tylenol from retailers, injected the bottles with cyanide, and then returned the poisoned bottles to the shelves. A man named James William Lewis blackmailed Johnson & Johnson, demanding $1 million to stop the deaths. He was arrested, but later released after prosecutors discovered no evidence linking him to the crime. The true offender was never apprehended. Number 6. The Isdal woman. A family was hiking through Norway's Death Valley when they sensed a burning scent and discovered the burned remains of a woman. Police discovered several items, but all personal information leading to her identification had been erased. An autopsy later revealed that the woman had taken up to 70 sleeping pills and died from carbon monoxide poisoning. An examination later found that the mysterious woman had traveled around France and Norway using at least 8 fake identities. The mystery remains unsolved to this day. Number 5. Highway of Tears. Since the late 1960s, over 80 Indigenous women have vanished or been murdered along British Columbia's Highway 16, referred to as the Highway of Tears. Despite the RCMP's launch of a special unit to investigate the crimes, only a few cases have been solved, while the majority remain unsolved. Unfortunately, Indigenous communities continue to express their dissatisfaction with the police's efforts and call for further investigation into these tragedies. Number 4. The Black Dahlia. The Black Dahlia case is one of the most well-known cold cases in the annals of American crime. Elizabeth Short was found dead in a Los Angeles neighborhood on January 15, 1947. She had been bisected at the waist, and her body had been positioned in a grotesque manner. Over 500 people came forward as suspects, yet no arrests were made. The case is still open, though theories about who the murderer might have been continue to circulate. Number 3. The Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac Killer is an unidentified serial killer who operated in Northern California in the late 1960s and early 70s. He murdered at least 5 people and claimed to have killed as many as 37. Despite this, the case remains unsolved. Number 2. The Sodder Children. The Sodder family's home caught fire on the night before Christmas in 1945. 5 of the 9 Sodder children were assumed dead, though no remains were ever found. For decades, the family believed the children had been kidnapped and might still be alive. Number 1. DB. Cooper. DB. Cooper is a legendary figure in the annals of unsolved mysteries. On November 24, 1971, a man using the alias Dan Cooper hijacked a Boeing 727, extorted $200,000, and parachuted into the unknown. Despite a massive manhunt and an extensive FBI investigation, the true identity of DB Cooper has never been discovered. Join us next time as we continue to explore the unsolved and mysterious elements of our world. Until then, keep pondering the mysteries that remain hidden in the shadows and stay curious, my friends.